And I think, by the way, I think under the category of one of two things. One is conceptual. The other is technical. So I think in those two categories, let me explain those, by the way. We have some salespeople who are uncomfortable in certain aspects of selling. We talked about closing. Some people said closing or getting somebody to be persistent. We have some salespeople that are uncomfortable conceptually in that spot, okay? That usually translates into technically, okay? We also have other people that are they're comfortable, but they simply don't know what to say, right? They're getting into the spot where they know they should be saying something here, maybe handling a price objection or suggesting a next step, but they just simply don't have the technique or the words to come out, right? And I think that one of those two is where these 5 reside. I also think, when we talk through this, that technique almost always cures all or helps with concepts, right? Conceptual weaknesses, technique almost always helps with it. And I'll explain that as we tell some different stories. Here's the first one. A non-supportive buy cycle. Non-supportive buy cycle. And let me give you the definition. The way you make decisions in your personal life or the way you make purchases in your personal life directly affecting the way you sell or go to market. Let me say that again. Way you make decisions or purchases in your personal life affecting the way you go to market. So let me tell you a story. I had a guy in my training a couple years ago named Mark, and Mark had announced to everybody in the room that he had made the decision. He was going to get married, right? And then he was going to go purchase the ring. It took Mark 8 months to purchase this ring. How many jewelry stores do you think he went to in those 8 months? Any guess? He said all of them, right? You said 1 in 8 months. He's just going back to the same store 8 months at a time. 14. He went to. He's telling 14. He told us 14 different jewelry stores. So all of them was the right answer, I think. How many times do you think he went back to the one he bought it from? 7, right? And finally, after those 8 months, the joke is he purchased the can hardly diamond, which you've heard of, right? Can hardly see it, right? So when Mark is listen. I don't need the groans. It's the best joke I have. Mark's in sales, right? And Mark is a mortgage lender. And so he meets with families, and he wants them to get loans with him and give them loans so they can buy property. And so whenever he spends time with them, tries to do everything we talked about here, reads them, confidence, clear, questions, everything. He does a great job. And at the end, that couple looks at him and says, Mark, this has been great. You've been extremely educational and helpful to us. The selections and breadth of products are fantastic. What we'd like to do as a couple is we'd like to go home. We'd like to think it over. Maybe talk to some of our family members and figure out, we might even look at a couple other companies that do what you do, but it looks good, Mark. We will be in touch. And when he gets that talk track from them, because Mark's inherent purchasing ability is longer, what do you think he does? No problem. He says no problem, right? Because what is he thinking? That's what I would do.